Charles Grodin, he's wearing a hat too. He's known for his wry humor and his deadpan delivery. He established himself as an actor in the 1972 movie, you remember this, A Heartbreak Kid.
I have fallen head over heels with your Kelly here. It just, it didn't take me long to make up my mind. One good look did it, actually, if you want to know the truth. But I'm the kind of crazy hairpin that just doesn't need much more than that, and then that's it for life with me. Now, there is a slight complication. I happen to be a newlywed.
Oh, there's that. Charles Grodin quit acting in 1994. Since then, he's been a cable talk show host, a radio commentator, and an author. His latest book is hilarious. Just When I Thought I've Heard Everything is a collection of humorous essays, and Charles Grodin is here at the table.
I'd like to make an opening statement, if I might.
Yes. Please go ahead. Please go ahead, Mr. Grodin.
I want to just salute Jeff Fager, who runs all of CBS News. I worked for him when I was a commentator for 60 Minutes, too. He is the outstanding media executive I've ever met, and I've been in media for over 50 years. He's just a tremendous... He's also a devoted husband and a loving father. That's it? Yeah. Okay.
Here's the script. The teleprompter's down. Here's the script.
And you'd be stunned how good looking he is.
That's the example of the Grodin humor I was talking about when I read this book. Let's just say a couple of things about you. You were impeached as class president. That was very good. Impeached as class president in the 5th grade for talking incessantly, something you still apparently do. But let's do something with this, Charles, in the book. 3 things that I thought were hilarious I want you to riff on. The words, "let me check my schedule and get back to you," is the new no.
Yeah, actually, Paul Simon told me that, the composer.
Yes.
And so
yes.
I should credit him, but I choose not to.
Okay. Because somebody said that to me the other day, and I went, oh, they're really telling me no. How you doing is a greeting, not a question.
And some people answer, well, let me tell you what happened. Oh, yesterday. Don't do that.
Yeah. Talking on a cell phone in public places.
And people don't. They did a survey where 2% of the people said it's okay to do it in a theater or a movie house. Those are the people who are doing it.
Yes.
No, it's ridiculous.
It's the conversation.
This is all based on actual things
Stuff
I've seen on the news or read in the newspapers. It's not like making up things. It's the only book I've written. Well, when I say I've written. But anyway, that's all intended to be humorous. The other ones are pretty much about me. There's a lot of sadness there.
But it really is about his life. That's what's so funny, things that have happened to him.
You have these incredible observations.
Yes.
And why do you think that women are better at sitting for longer periods of time than men?
Well, why don't you? You seem to be a woman. I have, Ali G.
You seem to be a woman. Are you confused?
Well, no,
Oh my gosh, the truth is out.
Did you ever see Sacha Baron Cohen on HBO?
Yes.
He went to some expert and he says, "How do you get a woman to stop talking?" And the guy says, "Oh, I don't think you can get a woman to stop talking."
You also talk about relationships. You believe that relationships should have mutual doting, but you said there are 2 important questions in a relationship that you should really ask.
What are they?
Temperature.
Oh, well, you wouldn't know that when you're in the dating phase. Is it warm or cold for you, and how loud or soft do you want the television? Say, my wife is 19 years younger than I am. So to her, it's always too warm in the house and it's too loud on television. It's not what let me ask you something now that we're getting to know each other.
Yes. Go ahead.
How do you like the volume on the television
I
set?
like it.
Not to get too personal.
There's a lot of very sort of random observations in this book.
That's a good word.
I went to a Radio Shack the other day to buy a radio, but Radio Shack was out of radios.
Didn't have radio. I just wanted a radio. They have shortwave. They have a lot of things. I'd have to read what it said in the book. There's XM, SM, alpha, short, blah, 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 blah. They don't have it.
When you looked at the clip of The Heartbreak Kid, when we were coming in, introducing you, and you look at acting, because you left at a time when you were very successful, did you just think, I've had enough of acting?
No, my son was entering 1st grade, and I thought I should stay home. I once told, be a stay-at-home dad. I once said that to David Letterman. He said, how did your son feel about that? I said, he didn't like it. No, but he works for HBO. HBO Boxing. He was an undefeated amateur fighter. as I was, years ago.
But do you find humor in nearly everything from the moment you've walked in the room, really? I've been talking to Charles Grodin, guys, for maybe 45 minutes. He goes, so what do you do here? I felt so good.
Well, but not to get into it because this is meant to be humorous, but the primary focus of my life, I'm an advocate for nonviolent women inmates, and there's not a lot of humor there, so I'm a kind of compulsive joking around. But I've learned that a couple of jokes I've just stopped doing. You can't ask somebody, I'm not talking about at a prison, at a social gathering, so why were you incarcerated? Because twice I've done it, and they were. And then it's not funny.
It's not a joke.
One guy said, I shot someone. Oh,
Where's the crudités? Yeah.
The comedians like Richard Lewis, Larry David, they carry around little notepads to keep these observations. What do you do? Because this whole book is a series of really humorous observations.
Right there.
So,
I can't repeat this on the air.
and how is that helpful?
Well, you can't remember all these things. My wife says I'm a walking commentary. I'll go out, I'll see a license plate that will say, my son is an honor student. Then the next day you'll say, my son beat up your son who's an honor, which is a way of saying, don't brag.
Right.
It's a good idea not to brag about. I'm going to just tell you one thing about this. This is a self-published book. The first time, this is I think my 8th book. And the reason I did this is one of my recent books was published in Russia and China that has 1.5 billion people. And even though I gave all the money away, the financial statement said that in all of 1.5 billion people in Russia and China, not one person bought a book. So now I hear that this book is selling great, but I got my first financial statement last night for the first time, 21 cents.
Well, listen,
to me, personally, 21
Charles,
cents.
we brought 6 here at CBS, so we are doing our part.
I heard you were given 6.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you.